Hannah, this is Piles of Books, and today I'm going to be talking about our favorite read-alouds for spring. Okay, so reading aloud is something that we love to do in this house. I have been reading aloud to my kids since my oldest, who is 8, since he was a baby. So I knew that we would homeschool, and I wanted books to be a major theme in our home. So I started collecting children's chapter books and just reading them out loud. So over the years, we have read a lot of books together, and there are some that have really just stood the test of time. You know, we've gone back to them, we've reread them, and the kids have asked about them, or they just, you know, like those stories have just kind of become ingrained in our family culture. So the stack of books that I have today will kind of give you a glimpse into those types of stories for our family, the ones that we have come to cherish the most. So these are in no particular order, and without further ado, we will get into the stack. Okay, the first one I have here is Rabbit Hill. This is by Robert Lawson. This is the story of a little like woodland animals community. They live at an old like abandoned homestead, and the story mostly revolves around little Georgie here, the rabbit. In spring, there are some people that move into the area, and yes, they call them the new folks. So they don't know what the new folks are going to be like, and of course they're just kind of in a hubbub about it. Are they going to bring cats to chase mice and dogs to chase rabbits and traps and guns? And are they going to plant a garden and share it with the animals? Or are they going to chase the animals away? What exactly is going to happen? So little Georgie, he's a brave, adventurous little guy, and he does go off kind of on an adventure by himself. And he gets into some scrapes, does end up being an accident with him. So the other animals just kind of catch a glimpse of what happened. There's just kind of an uproar in the little community, and they don't know what to do to save Georgie. Of course, it does resolve nicely. It's a cute little book, and I think that it is a great one for spring. It's also just a really easy chapter book. So my son had actually read this to himself, and then he enjoyed the story so much that he asked me to read it aloud to the other kids. Okay, the next one I have is The Railway Children by E. Nesbit. This book is not, well, yeah, I mean, not all of these books are like totally spring related, but I just think that this is a cute, I don't know, it feels springy to me. So this book is about 3 siblings, Roberta, Peter, and Phyllis, and they, you know, live in a comfortable home. They're not like super well-to-do, but they're not poor either. They have plenty, they live a very comfortable life. And suddenly, one day, their dad is mysteriously taken away. The mother and the 3 children move out of the city, kind of to just this small community where nobody knows them, to this old house, and they're not really sure exactly what to do with themselves. It is just a whole different life than what they are used to. So they are, of course, trying to figure out what has happened to their father. They're trying to keep their mother happy, just trying to figure out life and how to get along and all of that. So there is like a railway that's near their house, and it kind of just becomes a play area for them, and they befriend kind of the people who run the railway and just the different people involved in the community. So this book definitely had me guessing. I did not know what happened to their father. The ending made me tear up. It was good. So I did not expect to just fall in love with this book as much as I did, but I was very, very happy to have read this, and this is one that my kids have loved over time as well. Alright, the next book I have is The Secret Garden. This is by Frances Hodgson Burnett. This is such a charming, sweet story about a young, spoiled, rotten girl named Mary Lennox. She was an only child raised in India by wealthy parents that she never really saw. They didn't have much to do with her, but one day her parents die, and she is sent to live with her wealthy uncle in England. She's never been to England. She's never had to fend for herself. She's, you know, used to being waited on hand and foot. So this new life of hers just kind of turns her whole world upside down. So she does not see her uncle very often at all. She doesn't really know him. And she spends her days just exploring this humongous house that he lives in, and there is some mystery that she is trying to figure out. So she does kind of come to find some solace in the extensive grounds around the house that she lives in. She kind of befriends the old gardener, and she befriends a young boy from the village, and he teaches her how to plant flowers and tend to flowers. And anyway, just the whole story is just it's very sweet in multiple ways. The absolutely beautiful mind pictures of the Yorkshire moors and the garden coming to life in the springtime is absolutely delightful. This book is a treasure for certain. I have enjoyed reading it out loud to my kids, and I've also enjoyed reading it on my own just as an adult as well. This book is so lovely. All right, the next one we have is another sort of classic. This is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. This book is so cute. So of course this story is about the young girl Fern and then her cute little pig Wilbur that she rescues as a baby. So in the story, Fern cares for Wilbur until he gets too big, and then he goes down the road to her uncle's farm, and they're just going to raise him for bacon later on. Well, when he gets wind of that, he of course is terrified. So he befriends a spider named Charlotte who lives in the barn, and she saves his life. So this is such a cute story. Again, this is another one that is like a really good first chapter book, and it's just a cute one to read with the family as well. So I don't know how many times we have read this out loud, but it has been a favorite one of my kids for a very long time, and it probably will be for a long time to come. Okay, the next one I have represents a whole series. It's not just this particular book, but this is the Thornton Burgess Mother Westwind Where Stories. So there's a whole world of Thornton Burgess books. He has multiple series. So this particular series is told, it's narrated, but it's kind of told from the perspective of Peter Rabbit. And he just wants to know all about the animals that live in, this woodland community, basically. Their habitat, their eating habits, their relatives, just everything. So the Westwind teaches Peter all about everything. And there is actually a lot to be learned in these books. Like, I was surprised. So I think that these are fun little books. I've only read a few out loud. My son has read a lot of them. We own quite a few of the Mother Westwind series, as well as from all the other series. So he loves these books, but I also think that they can be cute read-alouds. So the only thing about those is that I am not particularly good at character voices, and I think that would probably make those books a bit better as read-alouds, but nonetheless, my children love them, and I have learned a lot as well. Okay, the last book I have to share is written for children. However, I think that adults probably can get more out of it. So this is the book So Dear to My Heart by Sterling North. If you have seen the old Disney movie by the same name, it's really not the same at all. The movie is cute, but it's not like the book in many ways, and the book is better. I don't even know if you can really compare them though, because the movie is so different from the book. So in this story, we have a young boy named Jeremiah, and he is raised by his grandma. He's an orphan. He just kind of gets himself into some scrapes. Grandma is very conservative, moralistic, probably, but she does have his best interest in mind. There is a backstory with Jeremiah's parents, and she is really just trying to save him from that. So we see Jeremiah with the trouble that he gets into, and the different friends that he makes, and all of that going on. But his grandma is also experiencing a lot of growth and some change of heart and different things. And so this book, it is a really good read aloud, but like I said, I do think that probably an adult is going to get more the deeper parts of the story. Some of the things that Jeremiah does and gets himself into are hilarious, but the real meat of the story, I think, is probably geared more towards an adult's heart and mind. So it has been a few years since we've read this out loud, but I am looking forward to hopefully getting to it again here soon. All right, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to know if you have read some of these books and what you think about them. And I would also love to know if you have some spring read aloud suggestions. While it is fun to be able to go back to your favorites again and again, it's also fun to have new options. So again, thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next video.